Koikatsu.
Once you finish making any shading adjustments, you can use the exporting section of the KKBP panel. I'm going to go through this once with the default settings, and then I'll go through it again with an explanation of all the settings. I'm going to be making a VRM file, and I want the minimum amount of bones, so I'm going to leave these as they are and press the prep button. This is the slow option, so it's going to take a while. Here's some time estimates for each option. The next button will bake the Blender materials into PNG files. This will squash everything down into a flat plane and then take a picture. I need to choose a folder that I want to store the PNGs into, so I'm just going to make a new one. This also takes a while, so here's some more time estimates. Now the PNG files are applied to every material on the model. The PNG files can be combined using the Material Combiner add-on. I've got a link for that below if you don't have it. Just click the Generate button and it will show all the materials on every object. You can sort this out how you want to, but basically everything that is checked will appear on one atlas file, and I personally don't want that, so I'm going to deselect everything except the body. And I'm also going to put the semi-transparent materials onto a different layer to make it look like that. Now I'll save the atlas using this button. Okay, that looks right. I'm going to do the close atlas now. And the last one is the hair atlas. Those are my light atlas files, so now I need to back up before I created the first atlas using the undo history menu. Then I can load in the dark PNGs in the KKBP tab. I just need to choose the folder that I baked the materials into. And now I can repeat that for the body dark atlas, the clothes dark atlas, and the hair dark atlas. I'm also going to go to each object to rename the material slots. And the reason I used 2 layers for the body was so I could have a base layer and a transparent layer. And this transparent layer uses a different blending mode to prevent Z-clipping around the face. Some clothing, like stockings, might also need something like this, where you've got 2 layers, and hair shouldn't need this unless your hair is semi-transparent for some reason. At this point, the model should behave like literally any other model with an armature and a texture. So if you want to make any other adjustments, now's the time to do that. I'm not going to do anything right now, so I'll export it using this button. And this button isn't anything special, it's really just a shortcut to the one in the file menu. And yeah, that's the export process.
Koikatsu.
This section is just going to be an explanation of the export options. Let's start with the prep button. The first menu is for simplifying your armature. If you choose the default option, you'll be left with the most essential 100 to 150-ish bones. These are the bone layers that will be deleted, and yes, they are permanently deleted, so make a backup file before you try to do this. The simple option will delete the useless bones, and that leaves you with about 1,000. These are the bone layers that will be deleted in this mode. And of course, the no changes option will not delete anything. The second menu is the target application type. There's only 3 options right now. These are specifically for VRM software or VRChat, and this one is for generic programs that you can open FBX files in. The Unity option will edit the hierarchy, so when you import the model into Unity, it'll automatically fill out where each bone is supposed to go on the humanoid armature. If you're planning on doing VRChat or planning on making a VRM file, you're going to want to use this option. If you're not going to be using the model in Unity specifically with the humanoid armature, then you can use the generic FBX option, and that won't make any changes to the bone structure. By default, the light and dark versions of each material will be baked into PNG files. You can enable the normal pass if you want that, or if you're only interested in the light pass, then you can disable the dark pass. If something comes out a little blurry when you bake it, for example this eyeline texture, then you can rebake it at a higher resolution by turning down this slider on the materials that you want to rebake. Then you can go to this multiplier and turn it up to 2, and when you use this button again, it'll rebake the material at twice the resolution. And here's just 3 extra things. If you don't know, you can use the CADS add-on to add Visime shape keys using these options. And in order to reduce the file size, I'm going to delete the shape keys on the body object that I'm not going to use. And I'm not going to use the tear, tongue, or gag objects, so I'm just going to delete them. So for importing into Unity, I'm going to make a new project. I'm going to be using the UniVRM package to make a VRM file, so I'm going to import that, along with the Atlas PNG files and my FBX file. My FBX file has 4 material slots, so I'm going to make 4 tune materials. The UniVRM package comes with an mtune material, so I'll use that. The rendering type should be cutout, and the texture can be filled in by dragging the light atlas into the lit color and the dark atlas into the dark color. And this should be white. I'm going to repeat that for the hair and clothes materials. That's only 3 materials, but if you recall, I used 2 layers for the body atlas. One of these layers is a cutout layer and the other is a transparency layer. So I'm going to duplicate the body material and change it to transparent. And then I'm going to highlight all of my atlas files and make sure the max size is set to as high as it goes. The materials are done, so I can drag them into the right material slots. Now the rig needs to be set up. I'm going to use the humanoid one. So you want to go to configure, and then just check this to verify that all the bones are filled in correctly. If something isn't filled in on yours, then just change the bone names to match up with this one. And this one. And these two. And that's it. You can test the armature is working with this button. And you can also add outlines and a rim and stuff using the mtune material settings. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully that was enough to get you started.